What if everything you thought you knew about reality was wrong? Time doesn't tick the same for everyone. Reality changes when you look at it. And 95% of the universe, it's made of something we can't even see. These aren't theories. They're proven facts. Today, we're diving into the top 10 mind-blowing scientific discoveries that didn't just challenge science, they rewrote the rules of existence. Stick around, because by the end of this list, you might not see the world the same way again. At number 10, we have a discovery so strange even Einstein doubted it. Quantum entanglement. Imagine this. Two tiny particles smaller than atoms become linked. You take one to the other side of the universe, and the other stays here. Now, if you flip one, the other changes instantly. No delay. No signal. No logic, at least, not by classical standards. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. He was convinced it had to be wrong. But in 2022, scientists proved it's real. And not just real, it's repeatable, measurable, controlled. This isn't just science fiction. This is quantum reality. What's even more insane? Some researchers believe this might be the foundation of faster-than-light communication, of teleportation, or even proof that space and time aren't as separate as we think. In China, particles have been entangled across 1,200 kilometers. What happens if we push that further? What happens when we entangle people, machines, or consciousness itself? We don't fully understand it, but we've cracked open the door. And what's behind it may change physics forever. At number 9, welcome to the age of gene editing CRISPR. In 2012, scientists discovered they could use a bacterial defense system to slice and modify DNA like a text editor. We're not talking about treatment anymore. We're talking about rewriting the very code that makes you you. Cystic fibrosis? Cut it out. Sickle cell anemia? Gone. But it didn't stop there. In 2018, a scientist in China made history and horror by editing the genes of twin girls. He claimed he made them immune to HIV. The world responded with outrage. Ethics, laws, and fear collided. He was arrested. But CRISPR didn't disappear. Behind the scenes, it's advancing rapidly. What happens when we go beyond curing disease? What happens when we start designing eye color, intelligence, even personality? Could we create a world where some people are genetically enhanced and others aren't? What's terrifying is that we're already close. And once this tool becomes commercial, how long before natural becomes outdated? At number 8, Einstein's theory of relativity didn't just bend space and time, it blew them wide open. Imagine this, two twins. One stays on Earth. The other travels through space at near light speed. When the space-traveling twin returns, they've aged less. That's not science fiction. That's time dilation, and it's real. In fact, GPS satellites account for it every day. Without Einstein's equations correcting their atomic clocks, your location data would be off by miles. Relativity also showed us that gravity isn't just a force, it's a warping of space-time. Picture a trampoline with a bowling ball on it. That curve, that's what gravity is. Black holes, the expanding universe, gravitational lensing, it all stems from this one mind-bending idea. Time and space are flexible. We're not just moving through time. We're surfing it. At number 7, scientists discovered you're not just one human, you're a city. A living, breathing ecosystem of trillions of microbes. It's called the human microbiome. These tiny organisms outnumber your human cells, and they do more than digest your food. They regulate your immune system, your brain chemistry, even your behavior. Studies show gut bacteria may influence depression, anxiety, even your cravings. Some scientists now refer to the gut as a second brain. In one experiment, anxious mice were given the gut microbes of calm mice, and they calmed down. Flip that around, and calm mice became nervous. That's not just weird. That's game-changing. Imagine treating mental health with a probiotic, or transferring personality traits through gut swaps. It sounds like a sci-fi horror story, but it's already happening in labs around the world. And it forces us to ask, how much of your thoughts are even yours? At number 6, we enter the unknown with dark matter and dark energy. When astronomers looked at galaxies, they saw something that didn't add up. The stars were spinning too fast, faster than gravity should allow. There wasn't enough visible matter to hold them together. So, what's holding them? Something invisible. Something we now call dark matter. It doesn't emit light, doesn't reflect it. We can't see it, but it's there. And it makes up 85% of the universe. Then came dark energy. Even stranger. Instead of slowing down, the expansion of the universe is speeding up. Some unknown force is pushing space apart. Together, dark matter and dark energy make up 95% of the universe. Everything we can see, stars, planets, people, is just 5%. We are surrounded by a universe we don't understand. And that's not mystery. That's reality. At number 5, in 2015, the universe made a sound, and we finally heard it. Gravitational waves. Predicted by Einstein. Confirmed by LIGO. These ripples in space-time come from cataclysmic events like black hole collisions. They stretch and squeeze space itself. And detecting them was like hearing the heartbeat of the cosmos. When the first signal came through, it wasn't dramatic. Just a faint chirp. But that chirp traveled over 1 billion light years. And it opened a new sense for humanity. We used to look at the stars. Now we can listen to them. We're hearing the echoes of creation. And we've only just begun to tune in. At number 4, the double-slit experiment, simple in design, terrifying in implication. Fire electrons at a wall through 2 slits. Expect 2 bands of impact. But that's not what happens. Instead, the electrons create an interference pattern as if they're waves going through both slits at once. But here's the twist. If you place a detector to observe which slit they go through, the pattern disappears. Just observing it changes the outcome. The universe behaves differently depending on whether it's being watched. Reality is not fixed. It reacts. Is consciousness a factor? Are we collapsing wave functions into existence just by looking? It's not just a physics experiment. It's a crack in the nature of reality. At number 3, the discovery of DNA's double helix didn't just decode life, it rewrote our destiny. It explained inheritance, mutation, evolution. But now, DNA is being used for more than biology. We're storing data in DNA videos, images, entire libraries. It's more stable than any hard drive and could last thousands of years. DNA is nature's storage system, and we're learning to use it for our own creations. It's also become the centerpiece of ancestry, forensic science, and synthetic life. We've read it. We've edited it. Now we're beginning to write with it. At number 2, the moment everything began, the Big Bang. Not an explosion in space, but an explosion of space. Everything, matter, energy, even time itself emerged from one unimaginable moment. How? Why? We still don't know, but we can measure its fingerprints. The cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of creation, still drifts across the universe. Some scientists now believe there may have been something before the Big Bang. Others suggest there are countless Big Bangs, infinite universes bubbling up in a cosmic foam. But what we do know is this: the universe had a beginning, and we're here to question it. And at number 1, the most underrated mind-bender, time dilation proven by GPS. Right now, satellites orbiting the Earth are experiencing time differently than you. They're moving faster. They're farther from gravity. And that means their clocks tick slightly faster than yours. It's not theory. It's measurable. And GPS wouldn't work without adjusting for it. The fact that your phone knows where you are depends on Einstein's understanding of time itself being flexible. Every second, your devices are correcting for warp time. You're living in a world where time isn't absolute, and you didn't even notice. If this list made you question reality, just wait for what's next. Subscribe to Topic Shock for weekly stories that blend science, mystery, and the strange truth of our universe. Because the deeper we look, the weirder it gets.